Alright, shalom, y'all. I want to give all praise to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostle. Alright, I'm just going to pick up where I left off because these devils keep taking my shit down. Or it could be the spiritual demon Satan. But I'm just going to pick up where I left off. This is fucking weird too because now what my phone is doing is not letting me go from one tab to another. It's very frustrating. Let me look up this. You're damn, man. This shit should sound real familiar to y'all, because our people did try this before. The Jerusalem riots of 66. And that's heavy too, cause 66.6%, that's 2/3 of you so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, and speckled birds, which just means descendants of so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, or the people they go back to that look like the other nations, but somewhere along their father's bloodline, somewhere along their father's bloodline, they go back to so-called black man, Latino, Native American. They go back to one of the, to those of y'all that are just hearing about this, that's pretty much the best way I can explain it. But alright, so the Jerusalem riots of 66 AD referred to the massive unrest in the center of Roman Judea, which became the catalyst of the Great Revolt in Judea. Timeline. And the motive was religious. Timeline. Okay, location. Target. Hebrew. Or Jewish. Read Judite. Or not Jewish. We're not like a Jew, or we're not like a Jew, we are Jews and Israelites. Judite residents of Jerusalem. Attack type, mass executions. Exactly what this dude is proposing. That's 6,000 Romans and Greeks. Perpetrators, Roman governor Gessius Flores, which they basically mean the same thing. But all right. motive, religious and nationalistic tensions. Timeline. According to Josephus, the violence of the year 66 initially began at Caesarea, provoked by Greeks of a certain merchant house sacrificing birds in front of a local synagogue. The Roman garrison did not intervene there, and thus the long-standing Hellenistic and Jewish, which Judite religious tensions took a downward spiral. There was actual in reaction. One of the Judite temple clerics, Eleazar ben Hananiah, ceased prayers and sacrifices for the Roman emperor at the temples. They were doing that shit. Protests over taxation. Join the list of grievances and random attacks on Roman citizens and perceived traitors, coons, right, occurred in Jerusalem, because coons are going to get it. Straight up. They that are joined unto them. Tensions reached the breaking point when Roman governor Decius Florus sent Roman troops to remove 17 talents from the temple treasury, claiming the money was for unpaid taxes. In response to this action, the city of Jerusalem fell into unrest, and some of the Judite population began to openly mock Florus by passing a bucket around to collect money as if Florus was poor. So protests. What happened first? That would have been considered a peaceful protest, right? Rioters, and then it escalated. Rioters even attacked a garrison, so police station, killing the soldiers. Even the ensuing intervention of the Syrian governor, who discovered he could not help. Florus reacted to the unrest by sending soldiers into Jerusalem the next day to raid the city and arrest a number of the city leaders, who were later whipped and crucified, despite many of them being Roman citizens. So even more injustices happened after riots. Aftermath. Shortly, outraged Judean nationalist factions took up arms, and the Roman military garrison of Jerusalem was quickly overrun by rebels. So that's what he's basically proposing this. In September 66, the Romans in Jerusalem surrendered and were lynched. Meanwhile, the Greek inhabitants of the hold on, because there's and that's what this all of this has been done before by our people, and that's what this dude, who it's obvious he was set up. He's telling our people to go this route again. Meanwhile, the Greek inhabitants of the capital of Judea, Caesarea, attacked their Judite neighbors. The Jews replied in kind, expelling many Greeks from Judea, Galilee, and the Golden Heights. Fearing the worst, the pro-Roman king Agrippa, that he's an Edomite, and his sister, is a Herodian, Bernice, fled Jerusalem to Galilee. Judean militias later moved upon Roman citizens of Judea and pro-Roman officials, so coons and sellouts, cleansing the country of any Roman symbols. But let's see how that shit ended, because this is We gotta see how this shit ended. For you to understand how it's gonna end this time too. Cause Yahweh and son Yahweh Shai, they wasn't with them back then in 70 AD. They ain't with you 2/3 now. He ain't dealing with y'all. The first Judite Roman War, sometimes called the Great Revolt or the Judite War, was the first of the three major rebellions by the Judites, you so-called black people, against the Roman Empire. Edomites fought in Roman-controlled Judea, resulting in the destruction of Judite towns, displacement of his people, and the appropriation of land for Roman military use. Besides the destruction of the Judite temple